So hey, next month I turn 70. Wow. So I decided to start a YouTube channel, talk about all the things that are involved in that process, in growing older, things I've done, wish I hadn't done, wish I had done, and I hope you'll come along with me. I've decided that the channel will be called Next Chapter Living. Some people as we age, I think, get stuck or they don't want to change, they don't see a need to change. Change scares them, change is expensive, change means working too hard, but I don't feel that way. I've always embraced change, I love change, but not all change. So I'm going to talk about things that have happened in my life, and I've had an interesting life, a wonderful life, I have to say, not without problems, not anything unusual, just I think a normal life, but I have loved my life, and I hope it lasts a lot longer. But I've decided that this is the time that I wanted to get busy and put some things out there that I hope will help other people. I'm glad you're here. I hope you'll come back and visit. I hope you'll share and talk about your own journeys with me, changes you've made or want to make or are afraid to make. And I think it can really be fun. There's my husband and I had a conversation this morning at breakfast, and I asked him what his intentions were for the new year, if any. And he had a very short list, I had a very long list. So that kind of sums up our relationship. We are opposites in many ways, but we're a good team. My husband's name is Ronnie. So if you have any questions along the way, please feel free to ask. I'll do my best to answer them in another video or in the comments. So we're going to get started. I thought I would divide up the decades, if you will, of change in my own life, my own journey. That's the only thing I'm really able to talk about is my own journey, and of course people that I've met and been inspired by and along the way. So but my journey has been one not without its ups and downs, like any normal life, right? But I've always had a willingness to take chances, to move forward, to start again, and that's kind of what made me think that this would be a good subject matter. I love new beginnings. I love starting over in any capacity. I like before and afters in video form or in book form, or I love hearing somebody's story about taking this and turning it into that. And so I guess for me, I didn't marry and have children until I was 30, which was kind of a little bit different. Everything's always been a little bit off for me as far as my age goes, because I started school in Germany as a child. We were stationed there. And so I started early at 5, and then I ended up going to college at 16 because I finished high school early. And so I was never the right age for the moment in my life, but it didn't really seem to matter. It didn't matter to me. So then I worked a lot and had a lot of fun in my 20s, and then at 30 married and began to have my children. I have 3 children that I gave birth to, and later in life married my wonderful husband Ronnie, and was blessed with 3 more children by that marriage. So we have a total of 6 that we claim as ours, and we have 8 grandchildren. So my 30s were pretty much working and taking care of kids and being married. And then my 40s, I kind of capped out at the job I was in. At that point, I was in a medical office and was told during one of my reviews that I was never going to make any more money, that I was at the top of my game. And I thought, oh, wow. So then I decided to go to massage school. So I did that and was a massage therapist for about 16 years. It was a long run. I loved it. Had a great time doing that. And then I morphed, if you will, from that. My next move in my, I guess I decided to go part-time, then I decided I would do a home-based business. So I started baking and selling the Italian cookies from my family's recipes at the local markets, farmers markets. And that was wonderful. I loved it. It was hard work, standing on my feet many, many, many hours a day, and then working the markets. But I loved the markets. I loved my customers. I loved all the stories that people told me about why they loved these cookies, what it meant to them and their family's memories. And it was just a wonderful connection for me. I enjoyed that very much. And I was my own boss, and I was on call as a massage therapist, so I was still doing a little bit of both. And that is one theme that has occurred, is when I made a leap from one thing to the next, I would usually keep one foot in the old and put one foot in the new, until it was time to say goodbye to the old and embrace the new fully. And I did that over and over again, and I'm still doing that. So anyway, the cookie baking went on for about 8 years. When COVID hit, my husband said to me, you really ought to think about just staying home. So I stayed home for the year, and I had begun to work for my sister's estate sale company in addition to selling cookies. So when COVID was over, I decided not to go back to the markets and bake, but I did continue on with my sister. Once again, one foot in the old, one foot in the new. So, and I loved that. I worked for my sister for, from 2019, let's say, to just recently, this past year. So, and then last year, I began to sell on eBay. And in December a year ago, I worked for my sister for the last time, officially. And then this past year, have just devoted myself to selling on eBay. And that's been great. I've loved it. I've loved everything I've learned and how to do it. And I've been moderately successful in what I would call moderately successful in each of those endeavors. And so here we are. And so now I've got one foot still in eBay, and I'm putting one foot into YouTube, and hopefully it's going to be something that I can do for several more years in the future. I hope so. I hope you'll come back to visit. I hope this is going to be interesting for you. We're going to talk about making changes in the future. Videos, we're going to talk about how to do it, what to do, how to combat your fears, how to get whatever it is you're needing together, organizing yourself, so to speak. I just want to be an encouragement to people, especially people in their later years, post-retirement specifically, I guess, but not necessarily even. Anybody who feels stuck or wants to make a change, I just want to encourage you to do it. I am a Christian, and I love my Lord and Savior Jesus very much. And I don't do anything without him, including this video today. So I hope we're going to have a lot of fun together. I ask the Lord to bless me and bless each of you. And I know that he will and that he does. And I'll see you next time. Ciao.